Mic check, mic check, mic check.
Jaxson, I think day 3 now, the NFLPA premiere. How's it going for you so far? I'm assuming you're learning a lot about the business side of the NFL and talking to sponsors and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's been great. First of all, just being around these individuals who are just so successful has been a great experience, getting to know them, learn their story. And at the same time, we have a lot of, very valuable and great opinions that have been shared in front of all the players here. Like I said, you can learn a lot. It's a lot of wisdom to take in for sure. So grateful for it. It's also fun to be around the guys again. A lot of us know each other from obviously college and the different camps and throughout this whole process. So it's been a lot of fun.
I'm assuming there's a lot more laid backs. Obviously, we see quarterbacks walking around. It's more like competition for the combine and the lead up to the draft. But now you guys could hang out for a little bit and chat, right?
Yeah, no, it's been cool. Like you said, we've been competing since we've been in high school, quite honestly. So being able to see them, and at the same time, you want others to succeed and play at the highest level. So a lot of times, this event is, for us to give congratulations and welcomes to each other for making it this far, achieving a dream of ours. But at the same time, we're still competing because we're going to be playing against each other.
I'm going to put you on the spot because you're probably not thinking about this. Maybe you are. I'm not sure. But, you just started in the NFL. You just got drafted to the New York Giants. But because being here, it makes you think about life after football. Have you thought about, what you want to do? Or I guess it's all, what do you do for the Giants right now?
Yeah, quite honestly, I haven't really thought too much about life after football. Quite honestly, I never have thought about life after football. My process up to this point has been all about the game. So right now I'm still trying to just learn an offense, get ingrained into the system, into the, the coaching staff as well as the locker room. So that's really been on my mind. But, coming to this and hearing stories, we got to meet the St. Browns today, and I've known them for a while now, but hear them and how they approach things off the field with their podcast has been super cool. So hearing about different things like that has been definitely something to keep in mind going forward.
A little bit of a USC connection there with you and Amon-Ra?
Yeah, me and Amon-Ra, I've known Amon-Ra since I was in high school before I committed to SC, and then we've also worked out with each other in the off season. So it's always a good time to catch up with him.
Jaxson, I wanted to ask you because I saw the video of you saying hello to all the New York media people and say, hey, tell me your name, introduce yourself. Were you able to already kind of process a lot of the names, or was that kind of too soon?
I don't think that you can really remember everybody's name, like 50 people's name all in one sitting, but it's just the start of a relationship. So you're continuing to get to know people. It's a two-way street, and that's kind of how I view it. And you want to get to know others, and they want to get to know you. So like I said, it's a two-way street, so I thought that, that was important for me to do, and I'm really excited to get to know them, and we're going to have a lot more interactions coming up, so give me a little bit of time, and I'm gonna have it all down.
Standing in that podium in New York or New Jersey and just seeing all the media there, how was that for you to kind of soak it in the first time?
Yeah, that was my first experience in the New York media. Quite honestly, it's something that I'm really looking forward to. So it's a privilege to be the quarterback for the Giants, and I'm going to take it up on my shoulders to make sure that I handle it and approach it the right way and go out there and give it everything that I got. And I feel like if I do that, then I'll have no regrets. And there's not a better city to play for, and there's not a better place to be than New York.
A lot of notable names in your quarterback room: Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, Tommy DeVito. How's that been so far? I know it's been a couple of weeks, but just getting to know those guys.
Yeah, they've been great. They were, 3 of the first people to reach out to me when I got drafted, heard my name called. I've watched Russ since he was with the Seahawks winning the Super Bowl, and I have one of his jerseys. So it's great to be in that room and then getting to learn from guys like Jameis, who have bounced around from a few different places, but have played at such a high level and have such a great understanding of the game and so much knowledge. Being able to use him as an asset to just learn and continue to grow. And then Tommy's a baller. So it's been great to have a relationship with him, and our room is special. We have a special quarterback room.
Obviously it's going to be competitive, and I know Coach Daboll said, Russell Wilson's the quarterback. He's a starter right now. Is that kind of at least easing the whole, hey, I want to ask you a question. You Jaxson asking a question of Russell or James, has that kind of been, you're going to compete, but for right now, you feel free to ask questions. Does that kind of feel like that right now?
Yeah, well, our sole focus as a quarterback room is to win games. That's what we come to work every single day to do. We want to win. So we all have the same focus. We have the same intent of what we're doing and how we're trying to handle it and make the team better. So obviously you're competing, but those guys, they've been in my shoes. They were rookies once too, so they understand the growing pains and just the adjustment from learning a new system so fast and adjusting to the game speed. So they've just been great assets for me, of giving me advice, and I have a great corner with those guys, so I'm gonna continue to lean on them.
So far, working with Coach Daboll and his coaching task goal, way back. He went to the college game with Nick Saban in Alabama, Bill Belichick with the Patriots,
Yeah.
Josh Allen with the Bills. Working with him and picking his brain. How's that been?
Coach Daboll is great, man. We formed just such a strong connection throughout, this combine time and just this whole off season, really, of draft prep. And it's been just a privilege to get to play for him. There's not another coach I'd rather be playing for, and just his ability to develop quarterbacks, see the game as a whole. I mean, he's coached every single position, so he understands it through and through. And I just, I love his intensity. I love the way that he coaches, and this is where I wanted to be. So I'm grateful to be able to play under a coach like him.
I've seen some of these videos with Brian Daboll just taking quarterbacks or top prospect to the board and show me what you got. Here's the homework too. What did you prepare? Take me to those those meetings where you had to prove yourself to him. Was that pretty intense?
Yeah, you better be prepared going into a Daboll meeting because it's intense, and he definitely wants to get the most out of you. I would say if you're not prepared, don't step into the meeting because you're going to get grilled. But I felt like I was really prepared for it, and I was ready for it. So they threw all that they could at me, and I was able to handle it the best way that I could. And I think that just shows how intentional and how dedicated that coaching staff is to this process and finding the right guy.
And Jaxson, before I let you go, I want to get to know you as a person. But who are some quarterbacks that you grew up watching? Were there any other sports that you liked to play to when you were growing up?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, I love baseball. For a little bit in college, really, until the middle of my senior football season, I thought that I was going to be playing baseball in college, and that was kind of really all the attention that I had from schools was on the baseball side of things, and until things kind of shook up for me in the football side. But football's always been my favorite, so I knew once I was able to get a few things rolling that it was going to be the route that I wanted to take. But from a quarterback standpoint, I mean, geez, there's so many great guys who have played for such a long time, who I've really looked up to. Being from Utah, I never really had an NFL team because we didn't have one, and I was always just a fan of different players. So growing up, guys like Brett Favre, obviously every quarterback wants to be like Tom Brady. You have guys in the league who you try to see similarities in their game. So guys like Josh Allen, I mean, geez, there's so many greats and so many guys that I've looked up to, but those are just a few who I've really, dove deep into their game.
You got that phone call from Eli Manning on draft night. How was that?
Yeah, Eli's been a huge role model of mine. Even before that I got to Ole Miss, being able to watch him beat Tom twice. That was incredible. Then I go to Ole Miss, and not only him, but the whole Manning family was great to me, and specifically Eli was just a great asset. We had a few different things that we ran together there, and then anytime that I had a question, I could reach out to him, and I knew that he was going to be there for me. And then carrying out now to the Giants, he's living right down the road, and he's been great. Making sure that he knows that I have him in my corner, and if I have questions, that I can continue to ask. And I think that that's a huge asset for me because we've built such a genuine connection, and at the same time, he's done it. He's going to be a Hall of Famer, so he's also around the facility all the time. So it's great to have him and continue to grow this relationship that we have.
Last question. I'm curious about this because it's kind of a topic right now. Do you feel NFL players should be in the flag football in the Olympics in 4 years from now, or do you have any opinion about that?
Well, first of all, if we're going to have the Olympics and you want the best football players in it, why would you not have the NFL players in it? That's all I got to say. Those are the best football players in the world, so it'd be a shame not to have the best players in the Olympics for it.
Good answer. Thank you, Jaxson.
Appreciate it.